So with that, I'd like to introduce the next speaker, Anabel Ibanez, who's with the Democratic Central Committee and also with the United Educators of San Francisco.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. My name is Anabel Ibanez, and I am in the Democratic Central Committee. I'm one of the officers. I'm the recording secretary. I'm also the political director with United Educators. And what is important to know that I'm actually an educator. I am on release from the school where I was the family liaison, where I work with families, students, and the administration to ensure that we were meeting the needs of our students. And now I'm also one of the co-chairs for the Latino Democratic Club here in San Francisco. I stand strongly, and educators stand strongly in support of our DA. We know that the DA, what it really comes down to in terms of ensuring that those students that are incarcerated, and let's be honest, the ones who are incarcerated at the highest rates are the most vulnerable students, which are Black and brown. And what we have seen through history is that Black and brown students, when they get incarcerated, they receive harsher penalties. And that has to stop. And working as our union has worked really hard to actually disrupt the school to prison pipeline. And we know that working with our DA, we will be able to achieve restorative justice in our court system. And that is why that's why United Educators of San Francisco has endorsed, among all the other stuff that has been mentioned, because we believe that we need to have restorative justice in the court system, where the court system has not necessarily been just to people of color. And then we look at his track record. His track record is doing what the San Francisco voters mandated him to do. Let's look at he created a hate crime task force that includes Bay Area DAs. And that is important because he's not just working here in San Francisco, but he's bringing all the DAs to ensure that we're working together to stop criminals from doing what they're doing. And then we also know that when we look at Dean's track record, he also outperforms neighboring DAs when it comes to charging violent crimes of domestic and sexual crimes. We need to look at the facts and not listen to the distorted information that is being put out there. Let's look at the facts. The facts are important. We also look in terms of who's funding this, the recall campaign. His opponents are funded by right-wing money that is opposed to progress made by the Black Lives Matter movement, and that is important because we know what that means. That means justice, not just for the Black community. It means justice for our Asian brothers and sisters. It means justice for our Latino community. It means justice for those of us that we have been racially criminalized, that we have been racially segregated. And so that's what this means. And when you look in terms of their opponents, what do they offer? Nothing. Just lies. And they spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to distort the truth. So San Francisco voters, I urge you to not only stand with teachers and educators, but to stand with the NAACP. We're standing here today in a very historic church where Dr. Martin Luther King came to fight for racial justice. And this is what we're doing today. This is about racial justice. And to that, I'm honored to be here standing with our DA, standing with everyone that's here, Dr. Reverend Brown, because this is not just about fighting against the recallers. This is about bringing justice to people that have not received justice in our criminal justice system. And with that, thank you so much. And